and one of J-Rock's boy, he has like T, and then the next his other boy is Mr. Green.
Is it? I did not know that. That's great. I love that.
Like, and I was like, oh, that's fun. But then, like, you don't really think about, like, but then, like, you know, they're not, like, main players. But then at some point, like, season 6 or something, it's like, yeah, I got T and Mr. Green over here. And I was like, oh, that's funny.
The best part of the Trailer Boys, the best line from J-Rock. It turned out he's like a creator / writer of the show. Which I didn't know till after watching it. Which makes it even more funny because he, like, knowing that he wrote those characters so like, spot on.
You can be goofy as Mr. Green and, you know, be a serious businessman, you know.
But when his one friend, T, like, checks him, and he's like, dude, you're saying you know what I'm saying too many times, man. You're saying like 9 or 10 times, dude. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know you were from the Department of You Know What I'm Saying. It's taking a, you know what I'm saying, census. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, Skulk is just giving me such a headache. He's so dumb. He's so dumb. So tall. Nice looking guy, but dumb as a bag of rocks. I fucking hate him. I hate him so much. I wanted a new intern. I never got one. I've applied 3 times now. You know, they just don't make them like they used to anymore. And I think I might kill him. Yeah.
Well, who's that there you saying you're gonna be killing?
Hey.
I'm
Who
sorry,
let you on the
might
ship?
not have heard. Sorry, I don't make footsteps as I float around, so I'm sorry if I startled you with my sudden appearance. You know, if you need more help, you just let me know. Now I've obviously already helped you. You know, you might have forgotten that I stole the box from the captain and Mr. Green, and I've brought it here to you for my payment.
Oh yes, I assume you are the contracted hire that Skulk called to go get me my J.J. Abrams mystery box, are you not?
Well, you know, I don't like to think of myself as, you know, some sort of scoundrel for hire. You know, actually, there have been some people gone missing from my town, and I've been hoping I could find some heroes, and I couldn't. So then I thought perhaps I would use your money of villainy to help my desperate town in its time of need. But you know, I do feel a bit of remorse for my deceptions. But this sweet old moolah you're going to be giving me for this box here is gonna mighty fix me up all right.
Oh, God. First off, does this charade work on anyone else? This is ridiculous. You're a freaking... Is that a real mustache? Or is that a giant fake mustache?
You know, I am a spear that is a cowboy and a sheriff, and I am a simple postman. Postman Roberts.
I'm actually very confused. Your whole outfit is all over the place. You seem to be a marshal with a fake mustache and a hello tag named Bobberts on it. I don't... you know, all of this is irrelevant to me. This is an exchange. I don't need to know your backstory. No, I really want the J.J. Abrams mystery box. And I'm a bit surprised here. Because, you know, I thought... Seeing that I hired...
I got the J.J. Abrams mystery box for you.
Where do you have it?
No, sir.
You don't have any arms. How
I had to...
Where is it?
I had to leave it with my ship down on Hangar Bay, but you know it's well guarded. I made sure that I clicked the locks on all the doors before I came up here, so you know there's no one gonna be able to get in there.
Great. Now.
So if you just you give me my money.
No. That's not how this works. We're gonna go have my assistant Skulk go pick this up for me, because I sure as hell am not going to get it myself, and I am done talking with you. You will be paid once I get the box.
You know, as I was saying, you know, I left the box down there. But you know, the box is on the ship, and in your flyer it said that, you know, if I find the J.J. Abrams mystery box, bring it to Skullfire flagship. I can
what did I do to deserve this?
Well, you know, you did yourself a bit of, you know, I too have found myself on different sides of the law at different times and different places, and you know, sometimes, you know, I reckon we just sit here a spell.
Someone wrote this as a program. You were a program. You were the most redundant thing ever invented. Oh my gosh, my jib jab's going off. If you could give me 1 second, sir.
Oh, well, you know, we ain't down on Brenner 7, we got a saying, ain't no waiting like
Shut
a waiting
up,
to talk
okay?
to you.
I gotta talk to Skulk. Shut up. Skulk.
Oh, hey, boss.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I've never been so happy in my life to talk to you. What is it? What do you
Well,
got
you know,
for me?
boss, I'm always happy to talk to you. How is your day
You know what?
going?
Take it back. I take back everything I said. I hate you just as much as well.
Well, you know, boss. Yeah. So I'm looking here, and then he's got the he got the mystery box here, but it's locked in the car. You know, so I'm just thinking maybe you just pay the guy, and he'll unlock the car, and we'll have to get the mystery box. You know, or maybe we kill him.
Maybe we do kill him. I really don't like this guy. If anything,
I reckon y'all having a conversation. Y'all might want me not to be
what are you gonna do about it?
party.
No arms. You don't got any guns or anything. You know what? You're our prisoner now. Okay? Yeah, you work for me, and you're my prisoner until I say otherwise. Got it?
Oh well, I don't know that I'd like such a thing like that. Maybe I'll just
you know
hover
what?
my
I'm gonna
own
just
hand.
go right behind here. Ooh, an off switch. Skulk, thank God.
Boy, boss, I'm starting to think that maybe this was too many, one might say the old proverbial mystery boxes in the air at once, and but I think what's important is that we, your plan came to full success. Unfortunately, now that you've turned him off, the car is permanently locked. I believe that he is the remote, so boss, you just maybe got to carry him down here or something.
Listen, I know exactly what we're gonna do here. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna sit there and wait for my call while I go get an Alka-Seltzer.
Everyone's like, well, I guess we all called it, right?
I'm like really struggling with the fact that how much previous seasons of South Park have just hit home for me and what's going on. Like what you just said there is a classic case of when they made Captain Hindsight with the power of knowing what to do after the fact, and you're just like,
well, we're in
you're
a loop,
man. I know, but it's so
loop.
like. It's so. To me, I'm gonna relate this to TV. It's the only way I can. I watch television now, or movies.
That's the point of this show.
And all I notice is every scene is just two people talking, or three people talking, and I'm like, why everything became an acting movie? And I used to think it was because of like ego. Like I thought it was the Daniel Day-Lewis effect. Like everybody was getting their Daniel. Yeah, but it's more because everybody's just doing this in a studio that's flat, and it feels so not like a movie or a TV show anymore.
So
because I don't feel like I'm there, dude. And a great example of that doesn't do that is the Scrubs TV show. Like, you believe Scrubs TV show was a hospital because it looked like a hospital and some parts of it were shot in a hospital. Yeah, exactly.
Trailer Park Boys, that was like super early Netflix. I'm watching that like 2011. They shot it whenever the hell they shot it. I have no idea. You're sitting there like, is this a real trailer park? Are these guys from a trailer? You know what I mean? Where like, yeah, man, I was thinking about it when, the Moana remake or something's coming out, or I'm sure they just released some other thing that's a remake or something and I'm like, man, that's everyone's wet dream, because it does not matter where in the industry you are. It's the easiest fucking job, right?
Yeah.
You already have your hot take one way or the other. If you're Disney and you make a remake and it sucks, everyone's response is, well, I'm just going to watch the old one on Disney Plus. I'm like, yeah, that's good for them too, right? That's almost better, right? If everyone decides they don't want remakes, then Disney's like, oh, cool. Do we not have to make any new content? Like, the thing they thought when they launched Disney Plus is, holy shit, we're going to have to make so much more content, right? But the thing that they've learned over time is, no, there's just enough fucking dipshits that'll just pay him no matter what, right? You're getting less runtime on fewer episodes that are more spread apart, and it costs more money. It's the worst of every single possible fucking thing it could be, right?
So you think... So because what's crazy...
We have, as a society, have cut so many corners that it's just this bland ball sphere of nothing. I've said it before, right? We've shaved off all the edges, right? Everything is like this, just nothing. There's just nothing. There's nothing to anything, right? Like, who gives a fuck about any of this shit, right?
But
like,
I think the problem is it's like so apparent now.
I know.
I at first I was like, man, have I reached that point in my life where I've watched too many movies and everything's just so predictable?
I remember this so much. This is like before we even started doing this, Greenie. No, this is before we even started doing the podcast.
Before we were even born.
And I was like, and you were like, I think it was like video games or something. And you're like, Mike, maybe I'm just getting old and I don't like this anymore. Like, no, they're worse. They are worse, right? And someone's going to be like, well, Elden Ring came out probably like 6 years ago now. Shut up, idiots, right? Elden Ring was the greatest game of all. Sure, man.
I couldn't tell you one thing plot-wise that the Elden Ring was about. I could not tell you one thing other than like you're dead, I think, and there's a tree.
But like Elden Ring was the zenith of the last hurrah of video games, right? Like there were these soul games that were niche or whatever, and that was kind of like the last niche thing, and Elden Ring blew it up, right? And the other games like Hades and different stuff, but like there's just nothing else. There's no one's trying to be original, no one's doing, and I'm sure like, and I feel bad sometimes when I'm like everybody, right? But I'm like, if it's not you, you're not offended. The only people that are offended when I say everybody are the everybody I'm talking about, right? When I'm like, everyone's lazy. The only people that are like, well, I'm not being lazy. I'm like, yes, you are, because you were offended by me saying everyone's being lazy. No one's offended if they're not being lazy. They're like, yeah, everyone else is being lazy, right? Like,
but it's like being lazy on a scale of... They're like, well, we attribute money to better graphics to make better CGI things, and that works for like international markets for some reason. But I just don't. It's like everything's like King Kong-esque.
They can't make the graphics any better, right? That's why we're stuck with NFTs and AI and all this shit. Is because they were like graphics, and everyone was like, this is it. This is the pinnacle of graphics. And like, fuck. We've put all our technological ideas into like graphics cards. What can we do with it, right? Like part of the reason that AI right now is so energy inefficient is that it's running on the wrong part of a fucking computer, right? This is all just
LL. So graphics card.
Yeah, this is all CPU, and they're running it on their fucking GPUs because that's what they have. But now everyone's ordered all of it, and now people's houses are like next to humming data centers. They did it so fast, like it's insane. Everyone, because there's nothing, man.
Now
there's
you know
nothing.
the new. Okay, so hear me out. You just said we've hit the pinnacle of graphics. What if we've hit the pinnacle of like
computers? Yes, we have.
Not even computers, but like, because I don't think we have, from the sense of if money weren't like, if capitalism wasn't about like, oh, we grow on how to make more money, right? But if it was if it was actually just us as a society that was smart enough to get together and like, hey, we all have these computers. We could probably build a really cool system or some cool things for free that would help people, but there's no way you would make money off of it. And because we're all thinking to ourselves like, well, I'm not going to do anything for not money. But like, if you could set aside that mentality for a second and really like understand what could happen, I bet you new things would like come about.
Yeah, but this like it is the problem of whatever the fuck we're calling. I guess we're still calling this capitalism. Okay, like I'm not invested in what people call things because I think everyone's stupid with all their dumb terms. But like, this isn't capitalism as
well, I'm just talking infinite growth, right?
Yeah. But like, yes, right? Because like, there's no like, there needs to be some friction for like things to happen, right? And right now there is no friction because the top's just there, right? There's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter where you work, who you are. Like, you're not going to be the CEO of your company, right? They're not going to let you do it. Doesn't matter who you are, right? Are you already the CEO of your company? Is your dad the CEO of the company? Like, if you're going to be the CEO of a company, you already know you're going to be a CEO of a company, and you're not downloading this podcast, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I would like to add to that. Also, to add to that, anyone in a position that is doing anything, you have no power, really, because your only job is to sell your idea to the top guy that will maybe do it. Because if you're not the top guy, you're trying to sell it to a top guy or to a committee of top guys. Like, you're always just selling ideas to someone else, unless you're working for yourself. But even then, you're just selling your services. So it's always just selling something for your time, really. And the irony is we get all this money now, but there's nothing good to buy with it. Isn't that the irony of it all? Like, nothing really... Like, when's the last time you bought something and had fun with it? Like, really ask yourself that. I can't think... Like,
I'm leaving a gap for people to write a comment below.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
what was the last purchase you were happy with? And of course, retroactively, you're less and less happy with your purchases or whatever, right? But like,
there's just no passion in anything anymore, you know? There's no, because there's just like, I don't know what it is. We lost something because I think in the way that we always have to grow, that leads to bad ideas. But as long as that it can grow, mentally we'll like accept it. I mean, that's the only plausible reason that NFTs were a thing. Like, why would we do that? That's the dumbest thing ever in hindsight, right?
We're like, you know, and I don't think this metaphor is true or whatever, but we're like in nature or whatever, but we're boiling frogs, right? The temperature, like, literally, think about like, again, metaphors are dead, Mike. Like, the world is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And people are like kind of barely noticing because they're like, well, it's only kind of hotter than it was last year. And I'm like, you fucking dipshits, right?
Dude, it's so
like,
hot. It's
we're
like
boiling
90.
frogs, dude. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're literally boiling frogs. The world is literally becoming uninhabitable as people go, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, God. Oh, my gosh. It's like 100 degrees, bro.
Dude, there are... Like, I'm watching it now with whatever the fuck's happening. It doesn't matter what the news story is. Everyone just going like, well, yeah, you know, this could be concerning. I'm like, all right, everyone's been concerned for 20 fucking years, but no one has done a single fucking thing, Mike. Greeny. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's someone somewhere, but like, no one's coming, man. The stars aren't coming, right? There's not a guy. There's no guy there or girl, like, sorry, ladies, you're failing too. Like, like, there's no one, right? Like, there's like you see it with like every single politician ever, right? All the time, always. Dude, is Mitch McConnell dead? Like, which is, I guess, funny or whatever, right?
It's not funny, like, but he's like 84 years old, right?
This is what Thomas Paine was talking about, right? Is like, you can't have the governed so far removed from the people they're governing, right? Like, what do you mean you don't know whether your senator's alive? Fucking rageous, right?
Yeah, I thought to myself, it's like 84 years old is way too old to be a senator of anything.
They're all too old. Dude, Jesus, like, it's funny, man. Like, Jesus was in his 30s. You know what I mean? Muhammad was like in the same age.
That's like three Jesus timelines right there. That's three Jesus 30-year-olds. You know?
Yeah.
Even Jesus would have been like,
I'm sorry, everyone
you don't
in
get
the
it by
state
now?
of Kentucky. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I understand that you're like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, but also, we don't have any agency over who represents us, right? Very specifically and on purpose, right? And I don't know. It's one of these episodes, fellas. Like,
honestly, if you really think about it, right? it all starts in your childhood, because when you read these books and stuff, it's like, so like I struggle with this one book, and I understand its purpose, and I do think that
Well, I
it's
mean,
good,
it does
but at
have
the same
words in it.
time, like, it's called Hands Are Not for Hitting, right? And when you read it to your kid, you're like, yeah, don't go around decking people, because we as a society said we're not going to do that. But like, instinctually, biologically, there are times when you should hit, right? But
Like, violence
we're like,
is
yeah.
sometimes the answer. But
yeah,
the
and I think
problem
that's the
becomes
message is not been.
I
don't know,
think about
Sorry.
I think about the Power Rangers sometimes, right?
Okay.
And
yeah.
like, you can't escalate. Like, that's like a Power Ranger rule. Which, like, when sometimes people are like, I just pull out the Megazord right away. I'm like, that's why you're not worthy of being a Power Ranger, right? Like, because you can't, like,
Yeah.
well, if anyone does anything to me, I'll nuke them, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you can't have the Zord. You can't have your finger on the button. You're not qualified. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. But like, sometimes it is like, so, like, I don't know. Like, let's say the Nazis are overrunning Europe. Right? For example, right? Like, violence was clearly the only answer, right?
Right.
Like, if you're a Ukrainian and someone's like, talk it out, I feel free to punch that motherfucker and then go back to the front line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this,
yeah. Also,
like,
like,
this is
we're
fucking
such.
horseshit.
Oh man, Putin's really becoming a problem.
He's been a problem. Putin was the prime minister fucking 30 years ago. I remember when Putin was gone, and I was like, however young as a kid, I was like, oh, well, good that we're done with that guy. And then he changed the laws in Russia that let him, like, come back around and be the president after he had already been the prime minister. And then they changed what it meant to be which, by the way, everyone, when they try and make Donald Trump the Speaker of the fucking House, okay? Like, the state of Florida, like, I don't know, he'll probably, like, that's my thought, right?
What are we gonna do when he doesn't, when he won't leave? Like, what happens this time? Because he's gonna try not.
I mean, should we just talk about this now, right?
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Like, what
Since
do
we're
you
from the future. All right. So, to be clear, right, like, his coup failed last time, and that's the only reason he left. When I told everyone that he wasn't going to leave last time, and everyone's like, he did, I was like, yeah, after his coup failed, okay? Like, chill. And then he spent 4 years reloading while you guys were like, is Joe Biden too fucking old? I don't know, Mitch McConnell's dead, and he's still doing the job, or whatever. Right? But clip that out. But no, like, what were you talking about? Old people are the problem?
I'm just saying, like, he's definitely gonna.
Oh yeah, so like,
stay.
all right, so like, I've been thinking about this so much, right? And the actual problem will be that all of these people are old and they're gonna die and they're gonna leave us with a broken system, right? Which, like, Donald Trump is the metaphor of himself or whatever, right? Like, he has the Shite-est touch, as I was thinking the other day. Everything he touches turns to shit, and the opposite of the Midas touch. Right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, well, you didn't give me a good chuckle, but anyway, no. So, like, I was thinking, what would I do? And then you mentioned Putin. I was like, well, here's what Putin would do. Here's what he can do, right? Like, so let's say that he doesn't term limit as president, right? So what he does is then he runs for Congress. They make him the Speaker of the House, and then he just runs the country as the head of Congress, right? And like, DJ Vance or whoever, whatever fucking bootlicker is the president, and the president just goes, well, we can't do anything without authorization of both houses of Congress. And then a bunch of people go on CNN that's then now owned by CBS and shit in fucking Saudi Arabia, and they're like, well, that is true, actually Congress is supposed to set the laws and the executive is only supposed to do the powers at the, you know what I mean? How they just like look at what the world is and then like do retroactive continuity to pretend like this is fucking cool, right? And this is basically what the founders meant, actually. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, it's like every
horseshit.
narrative for the S&P 500 to go up. And
yes.
Like, well, why did it drop? Well, it dropped because we just decided oil was
Dude, that's why
this
Bitcoin's
price.
so great,
dude,
right?
Bitcoin is tanking, dude.
Is because
Love
it is just all of this shit on steroids, and like because it's got all these people involved in it that are like weren't getting their fix from day trading. They're like, oh my god, I can fucking Bitcoin whenever I want. You know what I mean? And so like every 5
now
minutes,
it's falling apart. 0-day options are making people just give up on crypto. All that money's coming
Why
right
would
back.
you crypto if you can just buy Apple whenever you want? Right?
And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this right now. The signal on that is that Coinbase is no longer like a bank. They're a financial data and exchange company, and they moved everything to the blockchain. So all they're doing is tokenizing the assets that there already is, so they can break it into even more, like 0.16 zeros, so that they can take more of your fucking money.
Because they're just taking a cut of the transaction, you stupid fucking idiots.
And they're making more fake, made-up money. And they're going to sell us more shit we don't want. Now everything's going to be digital. Everything was going to be digital. It's going to be terrible.
Dude.
They're going to shove the Metaverse down our fucking throat, whether we like it or not.
Games. R.I.P. video games.
I mean, they're dead.
Here's a segment. R.I.P. video games. Dude, the head of the Xbox lady came out of nowhere, got all these people fired, and now she's like now she's like getting a chair on the Fed or something. Also.
Yeah, what the hell happened there? How did she get a Fed chair? How is that even possible?
Like maybe she's just on the advisory board or something.
Xbox, the CEO of Xbox,
dude. In fucking like, dude, that's what
like. They call their stuff too.
Dude, George Carlin. I mean, I should post that. I should repost that thing every fucking day. I don't need to prove a formal conspiracy when interests like converge, right? This is crazy. Like this is the great American circle jerk, right? We've gone from nepotism to incest, right? This is insane. You know what I mean?
I have a theory about video games, Mike.
Okay.
All right. So the whole AI thing is just a new polit narrative around more data center builds out for cloud computing. And the reason I think that is because you need more memory and you need more data centers so that you can take away the physical nature of like games, and like they want to be able to just like they're pissed. In my opinion, the people who make video games and the companies that support them are mad that we number one won't accept playing games on our phone. Like they in their minds they think we should totally do that, but we don't want to. So then they keep jacking up the prices of these, like
they just want to make Candy Crush. They just want to make.
They want to make the bare minimum, and they're like, okay.
I mean, they don't even want to make Candy Crush. They want to make Kalshi, but now they have Kalshi.
My point being is, Netflix now has games on it that Microsoft just partnered with them. Microsoft is cutting. They just cut games down to just like basically the Elder Scrolls series and Halo and something else. They're just, hey, we're going to put all the passion into these 5 games, and those 5 games are going to come out, and you're going to have to play them on the cloud. And they need data centers so that they don't have to sell you an Xbox anymore. They just have to sell you the game that's already set up from the infrastructure. And that's why Sony did it too. Sony said like, no more discs. They were just like, you're not getting a disc anymore.
I hope all over. First of all, gamers, wise the fuck up. For fuck's sake, it's been so goddamn long.
Guys, you gotta stop. You're addicted.
Pick up your old games. I've been playing Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy. The most fun I've had playing a video game in 6 years. Right? Like
that's why Nintendo keeps putting out the same shit, man. Because
I did see
eat it up.
We have to get back to data centers, but I did see a funny post because I have to be on fucking Instagram now, where someone was like, it was like a thing of like, meanwhile Nintendo, right? And the thing was like, Sony's cutting this and Xbox is cutting that, and Nintendo's putting out a toy Yoshi that has a magnet tongue that'll pick up apples. And I'm like, you know what? Fucking all right, dude. If there's a company that I'm like okay with, like despite the fact that maybe it's like taking advantage of like the toy culture of kids or something is like Nintendo, like for the most part, historically, everyone's broken now, right? But like I always think about like the CEO that died, and he took a pay cut of like $1 when like the Wii U failed or whatever, and like then they come up with a Switch, and like yeah, man, that's maybe the Japanese are still doing capitalism. I don't know, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like
yeah, they still have
but
to
back
try.
to your
But
data
that's
centers,
because their currency is mostly failing. But yeah,
because I need
they
to
still
bring
do
this
it.
up, and I've totally I know. Well, their currency's probably failing because they're selling real things, and everyone's like, no, excuse me, we don't want cars and toys and stuff.
Yeah,
We
go
want
home.
digital.
And
Like
we
yeah,
want
like,
NFTs and avatars and
yeah. All right,
oh
but
god.
back to the data centers real quick, just for like the last like get it done. Cause I need to bring. Someone mentioned this in a comment on something, and I was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to think. And I'm sorry I can't remember what you said or what it was about or whatever. But the data centers are for processing all the data. The like all of every single company has been storing your data for 3 decades
Models for
now, right?
for these LLM models they're about to run on it.
But it's too much information. It's the reason that like we talk about the advertisement lag of like, oh, you bought a couch, and then like a month later they're like, hey, do you want a couch or whatever, right? Because it's too much data, they can't divine information. So I think what they're trying to do with the data centers is to like track you, to track you in a way that they've been trying to do the whole time. Because if you think about it, Mike, every single thing that these tech companies have been doing has been a fucking lie, right? None of this is real. AI is not real. Quantum computing is not real. None of this shit's fucking real, right? Facebook has never had a plan other than ads and your data, right? That's it, right? So let's think about data centers. They are what they say they are, right? They're for processing all this fucking data they collected on you, right?
Yeah. Most of it's probably
And
repeated data too. Like how many
that's
times can
but that's what I'm saying. That it's
because
too
no
much.
one wants to share their data.
They
Everyone's
need
like
a way.
proprietary.
They need a way to consolidate you into a single data point, right? And whichever one of those companies can do it first wins, right?
Yep.
If you're the company that if Anthropic can just be like,
And that's why
actually,
they're buying
I
up
know
the chips,
everything.
and that's why they're buying up the memory, and that's why probably Iran's like, no, you're not coming through this straight. Like all the stuff is going through there. Honestly,
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, it's bonkers banana pants. Like it's one of those things where like the straight
on
up
an
news,
idea we don't
like,
even know. It's just to sell us more shit we don't want.
dude.
That's all it is. And they're not even making good shit, Mike. They're not even. I mean,
I
Captain,
know.
they're not even making good shit.
But they're making the world. They're making a world that you want to escape, right? They're making a world
Second
that you
Life
want to escape.
the reality.
So it doesn't matter how bad the distraction is, because they're being so bad that anything's a distraction from it. But you can't let them stop. Like
Stop putting
everyone.
your head in the sand. Stop putting your head in the sand.
Stop it. You have to stop. You have to stop. Everyone has to stop pretending like the problem's everywhere and everyone else. This incest economy started at home. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing shit that you shouldn't be doing. Stop doing it. And I can't tell you what that is, but everyone knows that it is true. And you need to stop making excuses for yourself so that you'll stop making excuses for these fuckers. It's the only thing I can think of is like some sort of self-help thing. Like maybe if everyone betters themselves a little bit, they won't feel so weird about being like, that guy sucks. Because my only assumption is that everyone's afraid their shit stinks so much that they're afraid to say or do anything. But I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is just like everyone's scared, right? But I don't know. But everyone,
I also think
guys,
there's a level.
you got to
We're
do
so
something.
we're so like that they trap you. Like the reason that they always want to take the most amount of money from you but leave you with just enough is because it keeps you in the system. Because think about it, right? Philosophy happens when there's like in the first time philosophy happened in history is when
Yes.
people had a lot of time on their hands. So like revolution and revolts happen when people are talking in the common halls. Well, when you make the common town square online and you get to control it with different bots and also ruin the credibility of the town squares, then no one's talking at all.
I know, man.
Man, I figured it out. That's the end.
Yeah.
That's what they did. I don't even know if they knew that. But they definitely, they're trying to create their own town square, their own version of the truth.
It's systems of control, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's, they, like, and what the algorithm's designed to do, I think, maybe, and it's as I think of, like, okay, let's assume that everyone's against me, which I think is the best way to
assume every corporate. This is the way you got to think of it. Every corporation. Assume that every corporation
most of your friends
does not want to
trust me. No company's your friend.
Every corporation does not want to give its data away, and it also wants to compete against every other corporation, especially when you're at the mega cap level that some of these companies are. Whether Meta is social media and Nvidia is a semiconductor company, they're still competing against each other because they're so big. Mind, there's only so much addressable market for them to compete against, is my point.
Exactly.
But they're going to keep all their data to themselves, and they're going to save face and work with these other people until they're like, nope, that doesn't work in my interest, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And that will eventually happen at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think of the last thing I think about is, like, this has been in the works for a long time, right? Because I'm what I've been thinking about as you were talking, besides thinking about what you were talking, but the thing that made me think was about, like, remember how they've all been buying land in the middle of the country for, like, the last 10 years with their money, and everyone's like, why is everyone putting their money into a bunch of useless land? A, Lex Luthor land, it's the one thing they're not making any more of. B, data centers.
Yep.
Like, this has been the play, like, because they have known they have to have known what I've known, which is that they can't divine anything from this just deluge of data that doesn't fucking mean anything, right? All they can do is send some, like, feeler emails to people, right? There's, like, nothing to be done with it, right?
The best way they describe the internet right now, like, assuming that not everybody, people don't know what the dark internet is, but also don't the dark web, but also have no idea how to get on it, and it's illegal. But the point is, like, once you do know that it's out there and then people can use it, most people don't know how to use that in internet. So, like, most of the internet right now is walled gardens. It's just like the Walmart down the street or the Costco down the street. Everywhere you walk through is either, like, a paid for site or a membership site, and they house all your data. And even if you don't think that's the case, like Google, for instance, has tons of different free apps that you use all the time. They have, like, Google Maps, Google Space, Google,
like everything.
Google the
Google
LLM.
knows, like, everything I've ever written.
That's
like,
what I mean. It knows more about you than
like,
you know about you,
yes.
And that's not even the AI part of it. That's just your data trail,
Yes.
Because
and so what
it's either free
do now,
and they sell your
all
shit.
Of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, go through it, right?
Yeah, they're gonna actually go through it with a fine-tooth comb and be like, "How the fuck do we sell these people more ads, Mike? Ads that they want? Oh wait, don't worry about the good shit. We gotta make the ads first."
Yeah, because the wire's just been live the entire time, right? They haven't been monitoring it, right? But so now they're like, okay, we can go in and do it, and it's gonna be a thing with variable pricing, like. I already think they're basically doing it. But what's going to happen is they are going to know exactly how much money you have. And they are going to charge you exactly that amount of money.
And then it'll get so bad where they're like, you can pay this off in 4 years and 4 easy payments on every site. Like, they do that with clothing sites now.
Yes, we're gonna have to like create some sort of, like, underground where we're like, all right, Mike, you buy my milk because you get a better price on milk than I do, and I'll go pick up your eggs. Because, like, for whatever reason, they don't think you value eggs as much as I do, so my eggs are more. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, what's going. Like, we're gonna have to, like, compare our prices on everything we buy with each other and try and figure out what the fuck's going on.
Oh yeah, right? I think I heard about the egg guys, the egg price gouging, that they're like the thing. They definitely got guilty of it, and they were like, they have to donate like 10 million eggs to food shelters, and it's like, all right, cool. That doesn't help all the people that bought the eggs already, though, at like $8. You know,
Dude, our
like,
pedophiles write our sex laws, right? Like, embezzlers write our financial laws, right? Arsonists write our fire codes. Like, we have a fucking fundamental problem here, people. And it's not going to be solved by everyone going, not my problem, because it is, because we're all here, right?
we all have to coexist with each other. But we yet.
Is this elevator ready?
God. Oh my God. Yeah.
Green,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. Economyofnothing.com, gmail.com/economyofnothing. That's not how that works. I've done that before. Send me an email, whatever, guys. Come on. Do something more important than fucking emailing me, right? You know what I mean? Fucking email
do that
your senator
first, but
and
then
find out.
If you can't at least do that, then go to the economyofnothing.com and join the Patreon.
Sorry, what I meant to say is, like, fuck all these people that aren't doing it. Give me Disney's $17. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Give it to us. I have, like, things I want to buy, like another wire so I can plug in a better, like, microphone and stuff.
We'd like to have a studio one day, like a real studio. And, like, you know, also I think Mike Bodone needs food, so that'd probably be helpful
Fuck
too.
that. I don't need food. I'm trying to change the world. I'll eat later, right?
But you can go weeks without food. But not.
I know. Well, maybe if you hadn't gotten yourself so many avocado toasts, you would have. All right.
Oh my God, that is so annoying. Yes.
Someone said something one time, and
it was me. It was me that said it.
Was it something like, oh, bread and a piece of fruit? That's what's setting everyone back. Like,
yeah, I think it was actually my dad. He said to me one time, I was going to get like a coffee, and it was on vacation. And the funny part about all of this is that I go to get the iced coffee, and he's with me, and he's like, does she really need an iced coffee? It's like in the afternoon. I'm like, yeah, man. She wants a nice coffee. We're dealing with kids all day, sure. And it gives me a break. So I'm like, and he's like, they say that if your generation didn't spend so much on iced coffee and avocado toast, that you guys would have more money. And I was like, okay, those are also the people that are taking our money that are writing that.
Yeah, man.
So so I'm like, and on top of that, so
coffee,
what? Like, what else am I supposed to spend my money on? Like, there's no, it's not my fault. Like, avocado toast shouldn't cost $10, $12. It's the establishment.
No one has drank a house's worth of fucking coffee. Do you know?
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
It's like, I'd love to get this for cheaper, but they don't make it cheaper.
They don't make it cheaper. Like, yeah, and meanwhile, your dad's like, but my retirement's doing great. I'm like, yeah, because I'm paying $5 for a fucking cup of coffee.
Yeah, and then they sit there and they're like, oh man, watch this number go up. I ain't never gonna spend it though, and then I'm just gonna get old, and they're gonna put me in a home, and then they charge me all the money that I earned to live in that home while I slowly die. They always get it back in the end, don't they? Because they do. So spend your money now, people. Stop. I'm telling you, I work with old people. I see it all the time. Like, they get you on the back end if you don't spend it. I know that much. You better enjoy your life. Don't sit there and try to save it all, because they are going to get it in elderly care. You don't believe me? Go look up any article, and every S&P article will be like, you should really be investing in elderly care because it's going to go up over time because there's such an aging population. They have all the money to pass down. We ain't getting shit. They're going to take every dime of it.
You're not getting anything, and if you're sitting here being like, that's okay because I'm going to sell my parents' house, that's what everyone else is thinking, and we're all going to be trying to sell our parents' house at the same time.
Who? Yeah. Nobody's making any money to buy anything.
Well, because everyone thinks they're going to sell their house to buy a different house.
That's what I mean. Like,
there has to be someone to buy
money. Nobody's saving money to buy a house. Nobody can afford the payments to buy a house. The wages aren't going up quick enough to even justify the way. Like, and they could save for 30 years, and by the time you want to sell your house, you'd want to sell it for like 4 times its value, and you're not going to be able to sell it because there's no buyers.
You just can't. Again, people don't understand interest. People don't understand inflation. It's like, yeah, man. Like, what saving your entire life does means at the very end you have a large sum of money that for like 3 years is gonna, like 3 or 4 years is what's gonna actually be the thing that does it. So if you're rich, you can just have that amount of money and just put it there whenever you fucking want to.
The last thing I'll say before we end the podcast tonight, everybody needs to go watch the movie by Mike Judd, Idiocracy. It really, really does depict where we're headed with all this.
Oh my God, we have to talk about this real quick.
Okay.
Because I was watching a bit of Idiocracy, and I honestly, Mike, it's what I feel like when I'm like I'm the smartest man in the world, and people are like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "No, this is what I feel like." There's a scene when they're in the White House, and the guy keeps being like, "Brought to you by Carl's Jr." Right? And finally, the one guy's like, "Why the fuck
Why do
do you
you keep
saying
saying
that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a great way to make money." What are you, stupid?
Yeah, he says, because they pay me every time I say it.
Oh yeah, if you're the smartest guy in the world, why don't you know that? And I'm like, this is everyone's logic these days. It's like if someone could like, if someone's like, it's like, well, Mike, but you don't know enough about ETFs, so I win. And I'm like, okay, they made them up like 4 days ago, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, ETFs like. Leverage. I found this fact out today. Leveraged ETFs are like the fastest thing growing, and they were invented in 2022.
Yeah, man. Like, this is all bullshit. They're
just finding new ways to fuck you over in the end.
And as we all just sit here and go, like, well, actually, there are some fundamental. Like, you gave the whole game. That's all they need you to say. Give them an inch. They'll take the whole fucking yard, man, like in a second.
This is what happens when you make everything, when you rip all the rules and regulations out of things and make it where there's no rules. It's like people stop trying.
Just the most money wins, right? The most money wins. Until you get your fucking head cut off. I don't know what to tell. Like, does everyone think that like 20 million people are going to be happy with?
It's going to be
happy with being an abject.
We're headed towards What, the French Revolution? That's what happened.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But it like, dude, like, let them eat cake is the avocado toast of the day, right?
That's
like,
why they want the data centers, man. It's to keep us fat and happy in our homes and not out in the street.
Yeah,
tell you the thing you need right to your door.
I guess
welcome
so,
to Costco.
All right, and can we talk about? We're not going to talk about it now, but like DoorDash, the child labor of DoorDash needs to be
What's
discussed.
going on with that? Oh, okay, what's going on with that?
No, man, I'm just seeing. I've seen a bunch of times like kids dropping stuff off. Like they're in like their parents are driving around and like the kids are running out and dropping the food off, and I'm like, this can't happen, everyone.
The gig economy.
I know, man. Like it was a grift then. It's a grift now. It's like pay. If we have an economy that can't pay people for their labor, then we have a broken economy, right? Like I can't explain it to anyone else. Everyone, like, the economy's not real. It's fake. It's a fake it's a fake thing that people say to get away with doing bad things. That's all. It's an excuse for villains. Anyway, economyofnothing.com.
.com.
.com.